Hello everybody, and welcome back. I am the Seven Swords, and we return to the game Cultist Simulator. I ran out of time in the last episode, but I do want everyone to understand. This game is very dark. I wish I would have placed a warning at the beginning of it. I have not uploaded the videos yet. I may do a short video at the beginning of this as a warning. This game is very dark. This game can go to some dark places. It does cover some dark topics. Tom Smiles went to one of the darkest places a person can go. To despair, to dread. If at any time, and I will be mentioning this, this will probably be the second time you're hearing this, but as a reminder, if you feel like you don't want to watch anymore, I would not feel bad. This is not the type of for everyone. I can understand that there are some sensitive topics here. I am not trying to get on anyone's nerves by that. I'm not trying to get into anyone's skin. If you feel as though it is too much for you to handle, then please do not watch my content. I am here to entertain, not to torment, not to pain. But to continue with our tale as I wish to, Michael Sanders is here to heal, and his recent business with Tom has left him a bit shaken and a bit different. We'll see how. The physician run is a bit different. The physician obviously is a better career field, which has more options to it, which I finished early today. I finished early. The director has been sympathetic, but I must return to work full time now. So we've left work with much of our reason, a little bit of health, a position at the institution, and some funds. But that was a very quick run through. The physician, as you'll notice, is the card. Long hours, but good pay. Notice it doesn't have a timer on it. Unlike Glover and Glover, I cannot get fired from this. I cannot go to this job for 5 hours and then go to it and it'd be fine. This job is more of a go as you can. If work is not running anything else, it will most likely be running the physician. We won't be pressured to go this route. Personally, of all the runs I've done so far in my own time, the physician has been my most easy job. But we'll continue down the physician's route as we unlock the next one. My notes spill from the desk drawer where I had thrust them. Notes in the case of Tom Smiles. What exactly does this character have? What exactly has Tom Smiles brought to this character's attention that he's so fascinated with? Who knows? Maybe Tom said something about what he was looking at, what he was researching. Maybe it was something about something specific in Tom's file. We'll have to find out. Click on the fast forward. The patient spoke of things that could have no meaning. The house without walls, the divided sun, the invisible light. But when I recall how they spoke of that invisible light, my heart surges. I can ignore the notes no longer. So much like with the bequeath, which we gained before, we now have the notes. On the case of Tom Smiles. Unlike last time where I spent my time building up my strength, we're not going to do that as much. We're just going to go straight into it. I'm more interested in moving forward. Time is already against us and already consuming my meager amount of funds. Hopefully we'll see what happens in the long run with this one. Studying my notes in the case of Tom Smiles. As I begin to read, I recall the the delight in the patient's eyes, the music in their voice, and also the smell of the room where they lie. So Tom seemed like he was a little happy. Maybe his dread pushed him too far and he finally found light. But maybe that light crushed him. Who knows? Old moments of sense emerge. I had almost forgotten that curious decision on the way of Moorland. But now I realize it was the way to Moorland. I've heard of Moorland, a dealer in troublesome books. The rest of their ravings, it means no more than it did before. How can a house lack walls? What is the glory they yearned for? But I can already sense the dreams waiting for me in my sleep. So, we gained directions to Moorlands. For those who watched Tom Smiles stories, we know what happened, his fascination with that. But, might as well. No harm in going to a location. The directions to Moorland's shop are cryptic. When one deals in kinds of books of my correspondence studied, one must be circumspect. No ideas. But continuing down the route, as we can see, the timer's still running over here, but it's finally out, and to go. Continue down the work path. No other thing to do for work other than to work, so might as well continue down that. Although, I will warn you, we are about to run into the same thing we ran last time. Gold scrap, Moorland shop, and contentment in a dream, which I forgot to read. Wish I could go back. But we're going to study health next. We're going to need vitality. As we saw with, for those that watched through Tom Smiles, he was plagued by afflictions and scars all over the place. So we're going to need a couple of these. I do apologize. For a lot of characters, this will run similar every time of us building up these degrees. I'm going to try to refrain from playing by myself. I have found, though, that thanks to the way this game runs, I can only have one game running at a time and only one storyline running. So if I play by myself, I risk you guys not seeing a significance happening and some of the story being missed. So I do apologize that the story will have to be this slow. For those who aren't interested in watching these slow burns, feel free to skip ahead. I'll always do a recap of the story so far as much as I can, as that is what this game as that is what this playthrough is meant for me. But we continue forward. Moorland shop lies open to us now. Obviously, though, we're going to be waiting to visit it. I've done some good. My patients are quieter than when I began. That can be taken in a couple of ways. But I believe that with this character, with Mikle Sanders, he is more of about being forward. Since I haven't read this before, and I meant to, there's a dank, clinging smell to the institution halls that never quite leaves one. Perhaps it is the paint. Perhaps it is the patients. Perhaps it is something in the walls. I think it's got something much deeper to do than that. But we'll continue down this path. We've gained a fleeting memory. Something of use to us in the future. Gained another vitality and our health returns. With the vitalities together, we can now continue down that route. Let's explore healthily. Might fatigue our health. It's probably going to fatigue our health, but the shifty woman. I don't think we're going to purchase her aid. I believe it's more if we're going to just walk past. Out for a stroll after work one day, he meets a shifty woman who offers her, "I get the job done," as her quote, and he continues walking. He's started his path, though he's not that deep into it. Our knowledge comes back with another health, and our skill comes back with health. Useful. Gonna go ahead and get another reason. We started with 4 reason on this character. That does not mean it's any more difficult to raise that reason. Some characters are more gifted than others. This character is gifted with plenty of reason and a decent job. This character now gains some funds and a little bit more knowledge. As you can see, this character, Mikle Sanders, has a better job than Tom Smiles ever wished to have. This job will give him plenty of money. Our erudition goes, we gain an erudition. Continue down that path, same as before. You will notice we have no passion. That could be explained in a couple of ways. As far as I know, you'll eventually unlock passion. You just have to keep working at it. Eventually it will come to pass, though, that you will get some passion. It's just harder to obtain than with the other characters. Gonna go ahead and start buying some books. I think that after he gets there and he talks about Tom Smiles and she kind of mentions what he was looking into, maybe he starts to look into the same thing, wanting to know what Tom was so interested in. Whether or not he's still seeing Tom, I would like to say yes. I would like to say that Tom is now walking his path, walking the path that life has now taken him in a different route. Because I do believe that Tom would have continued, just not down the path of figuring out where to go. We gain a restlessness. Don't know what this is going to give us. Book in Latin, not a problem, but not useful to us either. Going to go ahead and continue down that. We gain another bit of coin, continue down that path. As you can see, we are gaining money a little bit faster than Tom did. Part of the helpfulness of this. Our reason now has increased. We are now 5 reason. Again, reason's not too difficult to increase, but dread seems to be going crazy. Dread seems to be going through the roof. Not a good sign after Tom, huh? But we'll see what we can do. I think that he's going to have a little bit easier of a time. I do believe that he'll have an easier access to opiums, and he'll be more likely to go down that route. Deal with the dread and the restlessness. We have gained that, which is fine. Another book in Latin, which is fine. If we had some passion, I would use passion to get rid of this restlessness, but I don't have any passion yet. Tom's real problem was the Glover and Glover job. He was forced to put so much time towards there, he was unable to focus his might on anything else. Gained a glimmering. I wonder if I studied this glimmering by itself, if it'll let me get my passion finally. I need to find some way to get passion. Need passion. If we had 2 of them, we could start it. I could read that book of poetry. We'll see. So we gain the vitality. Or we gain the vitality so we can take care of this affliction. Oh. I wish these had X's on them to get rid of them. There goes our contentment to take care of our dread. Gonna go ahead and study this book. I think if we study one of these books, it'll click this over and then our passion will start to rise. I can at least hope for that. I may start going down the increasing my health route next. We could use more health. The Ardent of Oris and the Rite of the Crucible Soul. A rite uses an instrument of power to set the blood of fire. Fire is listened in the skin of the world. The art assistant rarely survives unharmed. So, another rite, rather dangerous one. He probably found this and made a note of it in his notes that he's been taking, but he's probably not as interested in it as Tom was. Long walks to kill cobwebs. We need our health higher. I don't like where our health is at right now. A little bit more condemning. Useful. I'm confused. I feel like this should take this, but it's not. Temptation. So if I give this, maybe one night while thinking he finds a way to unlock the first door. Apparently. Ooh, the locksmith's secret and enlightenment. And the watchman's secret. A couple of different types of secrets around here. Probably going to go for the same kind of cult. Going to probably go with enlightenment. The doctor probably wishes to have knowledge. Maybe his only question really is what happened to Tom. Why was he so... What happened to him? What brought him to the state he was in? So now he continues to walk down the path that Tom went. One moment.
So let you know we're on floodboarding till tomorrow at 1.
Okay. And I'm back. My wife wanted to let me know that our area has a weather warning. Should be fine. We shouldn't have any issues.
The walks outside are flooded, but not bad.
I think we'll be fine. Bit of water never hurt no one. I said a bit of water never hurt no one.
Fern would disagree.
For those of you curious, Fern is our cat.
For those of you curious, they probably didn't hear what I said.
Well, if you didn't hear, she said Fern would disagree. Fern is our cat. Fern is the type of cat that doesn't like water. For those of you about to type into the comment, no cats like water. You're wrong. And coons, if you look it up, actually love water. To my wife's depression, we don't have a Mancoon. And depression takes this character, but as we can see, all the dread is gone. This game also has a bit to do with the luck of the RNG, the random number generator. But we should be fine. Going down the vitality route pretty well right now. I'm hoping to get up to the next level of physique, and then we'll be going down that route even deeper. We've gained a bit more funds. We can go ahead and go back to Moreland's place again, buy another book. We can't research these right now because of this, but our library will increase and we will eventually study them once I'm feeling more secure in our health. Once we get a bit more deeper into our health, we'll be able to head down that road of studying the books. I think Mikle is just getting his repertoire up. Possibly a few of the books given to him by Tom when Tom sees that familiar glow in his eyes, although I believe Tom would have his own thoughts to say on the matter. Although I don't think Tom would prevent somebody from walking the path, I don't think he would be very interested in seeing somebody throw themselves at it. Going to dream. Dream of the fire. Does it mean something when I dream of fire? Fleeting remembrance. On the white. My fingers came off the keys and I was furiously trying to find my way back to them. This is also a good character to save up money. I'm gonna go ahead and start researching these books. Forgot to zoom in on that one so you guys could read it if you wanted to. So, after dreaming of the fire, fascination fills us, but we can handle fascination with a bit of fleeting remembrance. You can also use dread to get rid of fascination, so that's something to be useful to those of you who need it if you're playing along with this game. We need to get our passion higher. Our passion's not very high, and that's going to be a problem. Each of your stats need to be at least a decent level in height, according to be useful. So we're going to go ahead and just continue to work, and then we're going to study passionately next in order to improve our passion. Our erudition goes up, and actually, that's going to make me want to do reason instead. We'll do passion next. Restlessness and contentment. That's annoying. They may have something to do with this, though. We're going to be able to take care of this. Especially since now we're working with reason instead of passion. So we're going to take our passion. We're going to paint with it. We're going to paint with our restlessness in order to handle that. Of course, we gain another contentment, which I would have been able to use to handle that restlessness. And we could have continued working instead of spending our money on making paintings. We could easily fail at this or gain the eye of those that are not interested. I think though that he gets the sudden urge to paint one night after reading through some of the books, which it seems like it worked out well for him. A bit of a glimmering, relatively useful. Study the eruditions together, and back to the old grindstone of the workplace. Hey, really? That's the big issue you're going to run into a lot with this. Once we get painting, it's not a big problem, but with this constant rotation of restlessness. Notoriety next. It's not a season of dread. Continue working. Back to Moreland's shop again. I think I'll go to Moreland's shop as long as we're above 10 gold. If we have 10 or more gold. We can paint with dread. So that's one way to handle dread if you have a bit of dread and you want to handle it. Combine the eruditions together. Continue our work. Sometimes I wish you just refresh the work instead of having to work with it every time. There's some contentment to help with that dread. Season of Fascination. Fascination is the same way as dread. If this gets 3 of them, then I will fall into madness. Which I wouldn't say that a character, but I would be surprised if one of my characters fell into madness. I could see it happening very easily. Be a very interesting way for the character to finally go. But I'm not going to be trying to go down the well of madness with any of my characters. I will always let the story flow as the way I feel like it should. Tom going to depression was not part of my knowledge, was not part of my plan, but it was how his tale came to an end. So definitely not against it happening, but would like to see a character go a bit further. We've gained our reason. Going to start studying passionately. Need to do this a couple of times according to get our passion up. Which I'd like to see us get up enough to get painting, and then maybe even a little bit further, but once we get to painting, we can go a little bit of a different route. Gain some contentment, which is useful. We gain some glimmering. You also want some passion because it'll work with the dreams and other things. Your skills also being higher help you do better. Higher skills usually equal better outcomes to certain things. You can also use them towards working towards different directions. Combine the glibberings together. Gain a restlessness, which is fine, because now I'll be able to start working towards making these restlessnesses work for me instead of against me. Quite literally. One more round. That restlessness is going to turn to dread. That's really not a problem. Should still be a problem. Nah, crud. Season of Dread's coming. Oh no, good. We'll be fine. So we gain the painting art and another restlessness. Annoying. How can I handle you? So let's paint. The passion will consume the restlessness. No. Let's consume the dread. Then I'll use a passion to study. Hopefully I'll get a glimmering from this. Really? Ugh. That's annoying. Stole the dread out of there before it could go through all the way, so... In that. Paint with our mystique. It's not going to work. There we go. We gained a couple of glimmerings, which are useful. Couldn't go down the passion route. Probably should have just continued down with. We gained back the dread, which is kind of annoying, but we also gained a bunch of glimmering. The real trick to doing the painting is to just use it for glimmering. And there goes the dread. Fine. Fine. Oh, that's not as fine. Go back to work. Use our funds to pay off our affliction. use these glimmerings together. We're almost to the end of this episode. I'm going to go a little bit farther today so that we can get to the next level of passion. This will be the last recording in the batch of recordings I'm doing today, so after this I will be uploading some of the episodes. I plan on doing them in either batches of 5 or batches of character. If the character's story comes to an end because of something before the set of 5 is finished, I will upload those for that batch of that character. That does not include my first video, which will be a warning video, since I did not take into account how dark this game can get. It is just a game, but but what it talks about is very real, at least in some cases. But for those of you that are searching down those esoteric natures, please inform me. I would love to hear about it. I've always been fascinated by the esoteric. Although, for those of you in the Suspicious Bureau, I have never attempted to go down those roads. Hey look, it's our old friend, the Weird Detective. I get this guy all the time. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But, with that, our passion is increased to 3, our health is at 3, our reason is at 5. Our funds are at a whopping 14 on the board, 15 if you count the one that's currently in the secret. We have 1 friend, and the Weird Detective is beginning his investigation on us. But what resides at the end of Mikle's road is still a mystery. It'll be a long time before we see it, folks. Hopefully. But for those who are interested in seeing that tale, for those who are interested in coming back and seeing the next one, please hit that subscribe button. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. Again, if you would like your characters to be named, I will be starting to record these afterward. Please place your names in the comment section below. Please do feel free to add in whatever names you feel obligated to. I will be grabbing them at random though, and not specific to people. So if I see a name that I like, I'll grab it. If I don't grab your name, I do apologize. I will try to get to it eventually, but let's not try to go through 1,000 characters in a single session. Shall we? Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful night.